guys, how's everyone doing today? Happy Friday, or whatever day you watch this. I guess it's happy day anyway. Make it a good day, like I always say. So I've had a lot of great feedback from pulling the oracles and the tarot readings because I love reading out of these books. And so I wanted to hop on. I had one of my friends reach out to me first thing this morning and asked if I could pull one of these spirit moon oracles, because she really likes them. And I didn't get a chance to do it before she went to work, but I'm going to try to get this uploaded for her as soon as possible. So if you're watching, I'm trying. If you don't know me, I'm Christine. I'm the founder and owner of Whispers of the Wounded Soul. I'm the author of Turning Wounds into Wisdom, and I have a shadow work book, Whispers of Healing, the Wisdom Within. The shadow work book goes with each chapter, but it's all prompts for you to do journaling, to pull everything out. It has some prompts to calm you down at the end, and it's got some little goodies in the back chapters, some nice calming little rituals and stuff for you to do. So I hope you enjoy it if you get it. And this book, it's not thick. I wrote this while I was healing, and everyone's always told me to write a book. So I am working on my full memoir, but as I was healing, I was realizing that I've made it through so many different things, and I'm still here, still struggling and surviving. But I have the tools to that could have helped me. The real tools, instead of shoving it down. And that's what kept me here. You know, music, drugs, alcohol, all the things that, you know, we use to numb ourselves. Well, some of us. And I was realizing, you know, that wasn't helping. It was making things worse. It wasn't getting me anywhere. So years and years of shoving everything down and trying to numb myself almost killed me. I was very, very sick. Literally, organs were getting ready to not shut down, but they were sick. I had I'll just tell you, I had a fatty liver. I had, and that wasn't even, I wasn't an alcoholic, and a lot of times that'll come from that. That was just years of medication and stress. And my gallbladder, I had sludge in my gallbladder, and I was very on the verge of gallbladder disease, like probably going to have it taken out. Which I didn't end up doing. My depression was terrible. It was just, I was everything, my whole body. And I already have fibromyalgia, so I was in a deep, deep flare-up. And so I called a friend, and I went and stayed in her attic and healed myself. I'm still healing. I can't say I'm healed. But I wrote this book while I was doing it, and then I thought, wow, and you know, years back, I was studying belief clearing, and I became a belief clearing practitioner. Do I use it on myself? No. I was studying hypnosis because I know that is amazing for PTSD and for trauma and stress. And no, I didn't use it. So I finally just got my certification in that, and it wasn't to be certified, but it was learning how to heal myself, taking these classes and books and courses and all of that stuff. But anyway, yes, you can't just shove everything down. You do have to move on with life. Right now, I know the holidays are hard. Christmas is very hard for me, but I'm starting to be able to listen to certain Christmas songs. It depends on the day, though. There's times I walk into a store and I hear a song, and it's really hard. But what I want to tell you is they're still with us. They're in our bones. I know that's not enough because you can't hug them anymore or talk to them. But they're at peace. They're in a beautiful place, and they did what they needed to do here. We're all here for a reason. And a lot of us don't know that because we're so caught up in the 9 to 5 and do this and do that. And, you know, we're caught up in the programming. We were all programmed. And a lot of us get so caught up in it that we don't realize that there's life. There's actually life out here. And there's things that we're here to do. And there's things that we're here to learn from. But if we're shoving it down inside, we're not going to learn from it. And hence, turning wounds into wisdom, learning and healing from trauma. I shoved 58 years of it down until it made me sick. So let me use these tools to help you and help myself continue to heal, because trauma's still going to hit. That's why I said I'm never all the way healed, because life still happens. Life's not easy, but it's how you react to it. So you have to reprogram all those programs to be mindful, to change those beliefs, and that's where belief clearing comes in. You got to turn it around. So, if you wake up and it feels like it's going to be a bad day, and sometimes there's, we wake up with an attitude. I don't know why. Maybe it's a dream we had, but I've done it. But I turn it around automatically, and I tell myself it's going to be a good day. I tell myself I love myself, and I know you're doing your best, and I know it sounds weird, and at first it doesn't work. I'm standing there talking to a shell, practically. It didn't mean anything to me, and but I believe it now. I'm here for a reason, and I belong here, and so do you. So your loved one that you're missing around the holidays, they're not going to want you to sit around moping, you know that, and they're going to want you to still be happy. Before one of my aunts passed away, she was trying to get she was trying to get her husband to go to a singles church meeting so that he can meet someone, because she didn't want him to be alone when she passed. They were together for so many years she was more concerned while she's dying with the most painful cancer I've experienced with family. And but yeah, so while she was suffering, literally, she wanted him to know that he would move on and be happy. And so I take that kind of stuff with me, and I know that whoever left, as hard as it was, I never let myself grieve fully. I just shoved it down eventually, because everyone, people have their time limits. Well, she should be over that by now, or she hasn't moved on yet, or she moved on too quickly. You can't win. But if you have a lot of trauma, and especially if you had childhood trauma, and now you have a death that affects you like that, you're not going to be able to handle it like the other person. No one handles things the same way. We all have different nervous systems. We all have different brain functions. We've all been through different things. And I've said it before in other videos that even children in the same family, siblings, will grow up differently. Parents change, circumstances change, things change constantly. So you might be raised differently than your sibling, and even if everything was exactly the same, your wiring is going to be different, and you could handle a situation in your family completely different than your sibling. So it all goes back to the wiring and the programming, and what belief clearing is reprogramming those negative thoughts and self-sabotage, and trying to turn it around to positivity. And that's why I've been really into these cards lately, because there really is always something positive out of it. Even if you pull a tarot card, the tower or something, which is things crumbling, things crumble in order to rebuild. So there's nothing, it's all how we view things, and how we accept things, how we handle situations. So I like to look at these cards, sometimes daily, and just see what my ancestors or spirit guides have to say, because again, they're with us. And I think I was saying that before, when you're quiet and you quiet your mind and you just sit back and try to keep pushing the thoughts away, take some deep breaths, focus on your third eye in the middle of your brow. It doesn't, you're not going to hurt yourself trying to look. You'll feel it just kind of ease in. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. And then just sit there quietly and ask your ancestors or loved ones or spirit guides or whatever, help me with this. And you have to stay quiet enough to hear it, though. Maybe the laundry can wait. Maybe making the bed can wait. There's always something that can wait, so that you can take some time for yourself. Okay, so now I'm going to read a little bit of one of my chapters, just to give you an idea about what the book is about, and then the whisper back at the end of the chapter. So chapter 8 is Sunshine and Shadows. I moved around quite a bit after my divorce and after my mom passed. I felt displaced. I was no longer welcome in my childhood home once my aunt and uncle moved back in. My aunt's husband had an issue with me, and we didn't see eye to eye, so he made it hard to keep a real relationship with my aunt. This is the same aunt who came to stay with me when my daughter was born. We used to be very close. I moved into a small efficiency room. I was severely depressed. The meds weren't helping. My entire body ached from head to toe. I was at the end of my rope. At the same time, my mom's other sister, my aunt, another aunt who helped raise me, was in the hospital with a stomach aneurysm in Florida. My family urged me to go help her before she went in, but I could hardly walk from the pain that I was in. Once again, I was an adult and not believed what the hell was happening. As Christmas approached, I prayed my aunt would make it, and if she didn't, please not on Christmas. I knew it wasn't about me, but I didn't know if I could survive another loss on a holiday. Christmas morning at 9 a.m., the phone rang. My aunt passed away. I was hanging on by a thread. My skin burned. My body felt like I'd been hit by a truck. A doctor diagnosed fibromyalgia, no cure, a lot of guesswork with meds. I lay in bed in my darkest moment, prayed for cancer, that I knew I could handle pain, but this was too much, and even pain meds did nothing. I had already lived a life of hell. Now I would suffer the rest of my life in pain too. Please, Lord, take me. I mean, this was many years ago. I just told you recently when I was writing this book, I was at the end of my rope again. The basement of rock bottom. It just seemed like it kept coming at me. But back then, I didn't have these tools yet. I didn't know. I was just living in the moment, living in fight, flight, or freeze. Whatever happened, your amygdala part of your brain is constantly on high alert, and especially if you have trauma, and any kind of trauma. So it's waiting to let you know, to protect you. So, oh my God, this is getting ready to happen, and remember this, and this, so don't do it, or don't go there, or just freeze, or run, fight, flight, or freeze. So that part of your brain you don't have control over until you start releasing everything and changing the wiring with the positive affirmations and with the your limiting beliefs you got to get rid of, your self-sabotage you got to get rid of, claiming. I have fibromyalgia. No, I don't. I'm not claiming it. Absolutely not. Because what you speak, you create. What you think constantly about, you're creating. So you're constantly sitting there thinking about, I'm in pain, I'm depressed, this, my aunt's dying, just life is over, but that's it. That's where my life was. You'd never know it by looking at me or me being on Facebook, the meme queen, making everybody laugh, and I was laughing too while I was crying. But yeah, you can't keep pushing it down. So anyway, so at the end of the chapter, the whisper back is, have you ever done everything right and still felt like it was never enough? What truths do you carry about money, survival, or what you should have by now? And the ritual or affirmation, hold your hand over your heart, take a deep breath, and whisper, I forgive myself for surviving. I honor me who kept going. I am not behind, I am becoming. Okay? So this is why the full memoir I'm working on, but this is why the chapters are so short, because I just took that traumatic experience and then gave you a way to shadow work it out, so that if you're dealing with that thing, you don't have to keep carrying it. So, I'm still healing too. I'm just taking you all for the ride if you want to, be with me. I have a lot of tools, and I have a lot of wisdom and a lot of years of struggling through all kinds of traumas. You name it, I've probably been through it. But I am still here, and I feel like this is why I'm here, to help others heal, to help others feel like they're not alone and that they can keep going, but they don't have to push it down. You can release the thoughts and everything. It's proven. I have a tapping video you can go back and check on one of my others. And I'm also going to talk about some other things with you guys soon. So we're going to pull a moon oracle. And this one is peace. So peace begins with a smile, Mother Teresa. Peace, serenity, love, and harmony. Open your heart by filling it with gentle love and sentiments of healing for all humans and animals. Heal your own heart and try to come to your own peace. Release your feelings of anger, sadness, jealousy, and negativity. Let go of anything that does not make you strong. Begin to forgive others and pray that they can discover their own peace to live by. Protect your inner serenity from others by not allowing their negativity to be put on you. Lead by example. Be calm and present. When you create tranquility, harmony, and balance in your life, your reward will be substantial. Self-love and spreading harmonious peace to others is a gift like no other. Intention. Fill yourself with wonderment and love. Protect your well-being against negativity and spread the message for world peace. That's a beautiful message. That's why I love doing this. And again, I always say that there's some people that say that tarot cards and oracle cards and all that is evil stuff. And it depends on who you are and what you're using it for. Everything I do comes from genuine love and empathy and all of that from my heart. And you hear what that just said. It's talking about world peace, forgiving and loving yourself. And, you know, this is why I'm doing this. Trying to share these affirmations and these messages that, you know, so far I've been helping people. I've had quite a few people reach out to me and thank me for doing this. That excites me because it keeps people moving in a better direction too. So I don't know, I'm gonna sorry if that's loud. Especially for tarot cards. I like to ring a bell, and that was my singing bowl, to call in our spirit guides and our ancestors and our guardian angels and ascended masters and those who are following and protecting us. Please let us know what messages you'd like us to receive today. Thank you. And this is the Light Seers Tarot. Love these messages. So again, I'm not like doing a tarot reading. I'm just going to pull a card and read from you from these beautiful books. The World card. If you know anything about this, about tarot, the World. Completion, joy, wholeness, achievement, happy endings, abundance, success, new travels of consciousness, literally traveling the world. The World brings one of the most positive and abundant messages in the tarot. Congratulations, you've come so far. A large project or period in your life is coming to a successful conclusion, and it's time to revel in the sweet afterglow of your success. If you're not quite there yet, take this card as a sign that you're on the right path. Consciously step into the world's ascension energy and welcome to this beautiful shift as your inner spiritual landscape merges with your outer reality. As you reach this stage of fruition, remain focused. Don't slacken your resolve as you glimpse the magic at the end of the long journey, because it's time to follow through with your final steps and complete the cycle. Even in shadow, the world is a positive card that signals bliss and happy endings with oodles of positive energy on the way. I accept this gift of completion and I ascend to new levels of awareness and wholeness. I am love. Don't mind my nails. Wow. Yeah, that's why I smile, because wow, what a card to get, and smile and bring that peace out to the world. We're living in such a miserable world. I see it every day at the stores, people practically knocking you down to get by. Cars, I'm sitting the other day with my grandson for literally 5 minutes trying to pull out of a road, and people would actually pull up tight behind each other just so that I couldn't get out. I'm coming out of a street. I'm not trying to cut you off. It's not that we saw the sign, road narrows into one lane ahead, and then everyone's trying to cut off and get in front of you because they don't want to have to wait in line. It's not even, and I don't do that. I hate that. Go ahead. But anyway, see, it irks me because people are so terrible. I try to smile at people all the time and give good, positive energy to people. I no matter what's going on in my life, I don't take it outside anymore, and I don't bring it home. I've mentioned that in, I think, another reading. If you have a bad day at work, you don't bring it home to your family. That's not their problem. They shouldn't have to deal with it. Yeah, you can talk about your day and say it was shitty and, you want to quit or you almost quit, all that. We've all had bad days. But then don't come home with an attitude and, blame it on the day, because you have control over your own mind. And I say that all the time. If you're in deep, deep depression, you still have some control over that mind. Okay? You do. But the problem is you're so deep that all of that baggage and all of that shit is clouding you from knowing how to get out. And that's what happened to me. I sat and cried, and I was alone, no television. I had a television, but I didn't turn it on. And I barely watched TV anyway, maybe some Netflix or some stuff with my grandson. But anyway, no music, no nothing, darkness. And I just let it all come out. And boy, did it come out. I mean, when I tell you I cried, boy, did I cry. And I realized, wow, wow, what a release. You have to release things, let it go, and then later in the night say again, you had a bad day, you came home, tuck it in for then, and then later when you're alone, go take a hot shower, go tell your wife, husband, whoever. Whoever, partner, that you need a few minutes to yourself, which everyone should have, and give each other. Close the door, light some candles or something, and turn on some white noise so that you're not interrupted. But just sit with yourself for a little while. Take some really deep breaths. Those 3 deep breaths. In, hold for 3, or as long as you can. Not as long as you can. Maybe 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I'm sorry, 4 seconds. And then release. But that right there, and I've said before in other videos, shake it off your shoulders, literally shake your arms down really hard, as if you're, say there's water all over you and you're shaking the water off. Shake that tension out and release it. And then thank God, your spirit guides, your ancestors, Jesus, thank you for this day, and thank you for the job that just made me come home like this. I'm lucky to even have a job. There's always something to be thankful for. It's mind over matter, and that depression actually woke me up and made me realize that that's why I was depressed. I was shoving it all down, and I needed to release this stuff once and for all. And I still have a long way to go, but again, I'm taking you all with me. Wow, and the Justice cards. That's two major arcana cards that came out. So I'm going to, this one is from, I'm sorry, the Star Tarot. I don't know where I have these are beautiful. And the Justice card came out. And these are a little bit longer, but I'm going to read it to you because that's why I'm doing this. The messages are nice, okay? Okay. Inner balance. Justice stands holding her scales in balance, weighing situations and making fair decisions. The scales are part of her actual being. Her two-edged sword of discernment and intuition are lined up with her 7 chakras, keeping her decision-making in balance and ready for action. The sword represents the clear, creative mind, directly applying and bringing realistic answers and solutions to the table. The sword also represents strength and power that come from justice holding her inner balance. Justice represents keeping your inner balance centered as you live your life in the chaos of the world. Justice encourages you to look deep inside yourself and identify any contradictions throwing you off kilter. What was I just saying? Balancing your intuitive self and spiritual values with the conscious mind and moral values brings inner strength and clarity to make just decisions. Justice's number is 11, the number of vision, new consciousness, balance, heightened awareness, intuition, and insight. Justice works with all matters of earthly law, cosmic law, and karmic law. Justice integrates and balances these laws within her when decisions need to be made. The justice key, you begin to take responsibility for your choices and actions, weighing and measuring your next move. You realize that the steps you take will not only impact you, but others. Justice helps you live your life in balance without the inner tension of opposition. When unsettling situations in life arise, they can leave you hanging with no solution or with indecision. Your clarity and direction become foggy, signaling a time to still yourself, to go within and listen. What was I saying? This is just wild. So somebody out there needed to hear this, and maybe I did too again. The mind and heart will duel as long as you feed the fire. Let the sword of discernment and balance pierce the pool of subconscious and inner wisdom. Meditate and let the poles of the opposite come to rest. A solution will arise. It may not be what you wanted or expected, but if it feels right in your body, heart, and mind, then you have your answer. Justice represents the laws of nature, moral law, legal law, and the laws of the universe. She reminds you there is divine justice. Her purpose is to be fair and impartial while seeking truth and answers to a decision. She encourages you to weigh matters carefully before making important choices that will affect you and others. She stands strong with intention, always taking the righteous path. When justice arrives, she brings a choice or decision that needs to be made. Justice whispers, don't be impetuous, step back, connect with your spiritual and moral values, quiet your emotions, use discernment and your inner wisdom. Choose what you know is right rather than what you want to be right. Do and be the best that you can. Be a vessel for the divine light to shine through, with the understanding of cosmic justice rather than just ego justice. Justice brings forth legal matters and financial contracts. Review everything with scrutiny. Get all the facts. Cross your T's and dot your I's. Justice brings the gifts of fairness, harmony, truth, honesty, reason, and balance. A decision will be made. So, you can't make your decisions from fight, flight, or freeze, and you got to try to quiet your mind long enough to make good decisions. And there's times where the decision needs to be made during fight, flight, or freeze, during the trauma. That's not easy, to quiet your mind and try to sit with yourself when you don't even have time to think. But try. on the toilet. You're on the toilet, put the phone down and sit there and close your eyes and ask for guidance and ask for the answer. And it might not come right that second. It might come, later. But you're not going to come to the answer that's really for your higher good unless you take that time and quiet yourself down. It just is. It is what it is, and it's not easy, not at all. But you're never going to fully heal or release all of that baggage until you deal with each thing one at a time. So if you're already in therapy and you're already on medication, please continue, but add some belief clearing. You don't have to go through me. You can Google things. But if you would like to work with me, you can check out my channel in the description, the coffee channel, and I have some things in there, or just reach out to me directly. Again, I think I've said before, it's not about money, even though I need to survive as well, and I put a lot of thought and work into, especially my books and the tools that I have for you. But it's about helping people. I want to help if I can. So again, that's it. Let me see. I'm going to pull, me, we'll do a quick spirit animal card, and then I'll let you on your way. I'm just going to pull from here. Okay. We have the orca whale adventure. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song and manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. All right, guys. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I will try to get another video out soon, since everyone's really enjoying them. That makes me happy. Again, thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, following, all of that. It doesn't cost anything, but it will alert you and help others find me who might need some healing help. All right, bye.